Entrevistas Alfa.
Hey Flay, I am Patty from Alfa 91.3, the best radio station in Mexico. And I'm very happy to be here with you. Welcome. How are you?
Thank you so much. I'm so glad to speak with you today. I'm great. I'm excited. I can't wait for my record to be out. I'm feeling very energized about music in general.
You have new music, you have new single, Raw Raw. Congratulations. I want to know, are the lyrics of Raw Raw like showing the real you?
The story of the song, which I will try to tell a concise version of, is that it was begun in the context of I had been through a bad breakup and I was starting to see someone new who now actually is my girlfriend. So it worked out. But it was so scary. Like I was like, oh my God, right. I have to be vulnerable
Yeah,
with somebody new. I have to do this all over again. I have to expose myself and maybe I'm gonna get hurt, and I think you think about your life in general, and it's like the scariest moments are those moments of vulnerability. And
absolutely.
so I was thinking about that. Okay, I write a little demo, whatever. Then I wake up one morning, a couple months later, and I've gone deaf in my right ear
I
for
know.
for
I'm
literally
so
no
sorry.
reason. Thank
Yeah.
you. So it's crazy, right? Like this crazy thing happens. Okay, I'm trying to see if I can fix it, which I can't. I'm doing physical therapy. I'm like recovering my mobility, and I start feeling like I need to make music. I need to make a record.
Mm.
And
That's the
Rah
way
Rah
of
was one
healing
of them.
yourself, maybe.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the thing that I keep talking about is like it's such a cliche, but music, music is healing. Art is
Absolutely.
healing.
I totally agree.
So I start working on this record, and I start working on Rah Rah, and all of a sudden vulnerability has a very different meaning for me.
Hmm.
So yes, it is vulnerable to bare your heart to another person. It's
Hmm.
also really vulnerable to be half deaf and make a record, you know? Um, and so I was just very in touch with that feeling of like being raw, you know? Like I don't even have the energy to pretend to be something else. I
No.
don't have the energy to be inauthentic. And I think what what is so cool about that, and I hope this single conveys this, is like being vulnerable is like badass. That's
Mhm.
actually the toughest thing, in my opinion. Like
Mm.
the coolest, toughest thing you can do is just like show up as yourself and be honest.
Yeah.
Um,
This is me.
be, this is me, exactly. And like it's risky. It's
Mm.
risky to show up to a situation, to a relationship, and be yourself. But the payoff is that there's so much confidence and power and energy, and so that's really what this song, what I was trying to sonically convey, is like that power.
Hmm. Yeah. And when you listen to Roro, you can feel that power. You can absolutely feel the real you. I think it's amazing, Kaylee. And
Thank you.
let me ask this: when you share with your fans about your hearing disability, what was their answer?
Oh my Lord. So much support and love. I think, you go through painful experiences in life. We all do.
Yeah.
And one of the most important parts of grief and healing, we talked about the power of being creative. That's one way that we cope with hardship. um, but I think the biggest way we cope with hardship is community.
Mhm.
And of course I have my friends and my family, my kind of core community, who were instrumental in me moving through this experience,
Mhm.
and doing it bravely, But I think the other thing is like one of the beautiful things when when you make music and you're kind of a public figure is you're able to understand and receive love and support from this broader community. And so I got so many messages about, you know, other people's hardships and challenges and how they had moved through those things. And it just makes you feel connected to, I think, the fundamental human experience of bad things happen to all of us
To all of
randomly,
us.
you know,
Mhm.
and we're all connected in our moving through those experiences. And when we're able to do that together and share that, man, that feels really good. That feels
Mhm.
like maybe the point
I
of
love the
life,
word,
you know?
absolutely, and I love the word community. It's amazing because that's what we
So,
are. Hmm.
I mean, and that's, you know, I think as people who make music and like, you know, you like, okay, so you're a part of a radio station, right?
Hmm.
One of the things you're doing is you're sending out a signal. Literally, you're sending out a signal and
Hmm.
people are receiving that signal and then they're moving closer to it, right? Like, and they're staying close to it so that they can keep receiving it. And
Yeah.
like so much of human interaction is about like what's the signal you're giving out? What's your little radio antenna? And who are the people who are hearing it and wanting to get closer and like, you know, taking ego and everything out of it, like,
Hmm.
right, it's community. Like we're just, oh, that's all we're doing, all we're trying to do. You can take money out of it, take status, take everything. Like the point is to create connection and community. And so I feel very lucky to be able to have a signal that I can send out and other people are receiving it.
Hmm. Hmm. Absolutely, you're getting love from everywhere, from all around the world. Wow. You once said in one interview something that really shocked me, Kay Flay. You said the highs in the music industry, the highs are so high, but the lows are so low. How are you
Yeah,
dealing with it now?
I have a lot of skills and tools now to manage that.
Mhm.
Um, if I remember correctly, I was talking about that in the context of sobriety and alcohol. And I
Mhm.
think I spent actually most of my life not drinking at all.
Mhm.
Just abstaining. I wasn't interested in it. And then I
Mhm.
became a touring musician
Mhm.
and
It came as
uh
part of it.
came as part of it. You know, backstage, your first show, you get a bag of chips and a six pack of beer. Like that's kind of the vibe. And so for me, I think as I've come into my own as a person, as I've come into my own with my sexuality, as all of these different elements, I was kind of understanding that for me personally, I, I'm in this world where, there are moments where you're on stage and there are, thousands of people, right, giving you praise and energy.
Mhm.
That's from a physiological standpoint, right? Your dopamine's through the roof, your adrenaline is through the roof. You
Mhm.
can't even control that. That's just your brain.
Wow.
So you are high as hell.
Mhm.
When that isn't happening, or inevitably when you put out music and people are like, whatever, don't really, it's fine, don't care. Which
Mhm.
happens if you put out music long enough, of course that happens. Not every song you put out is a hit.
Uh-huh.
Um, that can feel really bad. That can feel really, really
Really low.
lonely.
Really low. Because life is a roller coaster. You can always be up, you can always be down. I mean, we're up and downs.
So here's kind of been my strategy is like, how about I don't buy into either one of them?
Mhm.
So how about when I'm on stage and people are screaming and excited, I understand that that's not even connected to me,
Mhm.
really, right? They're screaming because they came to the show with their best friend and they're making a memory. Like I'm helping them make that memory, but it's not about me, right? So I'm not buying into the high,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm also not buying into the low. You know, so it's like I've likened it to being, do you know the Jesus lizard that like runs on water? Have you ever
Ah,
seen
yeah, yeah,
that
yeah,
lizard?
yeah. Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, yeah. I've seen.
Um, that's what I'm trying to be, is
Mm-hmm.
that lizard.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm never falling in and I'm never flying up. I'm moving. I'm going, you know, and so I think especially in an industry where a lot of people for a variety of reasons will tell you that you're great, and a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people for a variety of reasons will tell you that you suck.
Mm-hmm.
Just neither are true.
No, follow your own voice.
So that's been the way I've dealt with it. And you know, just side note for me
Mhm.
too, like quitting drinking and kind of carving out this new way of being as a touring musician has been like amazing and wonderful. I love it.
Mhm. Okay, Flay, I know that you have studies on psychology and sociology, and I think those studies help you write these profound lyrics. And I want to know, how is your process of creating music?
My process of making music
Mhm,
is very stream of consciousness.
mhm,
So
mhm,
I actually started making music in like the indie hip hop world. And I
mhm,
think one of the things that I love about that is, you know, the way that so much hip hop uh, is written is just freestyle, kind of stream of consciousness, see where things go. It's often not very preordained. You kind
mhm,
of follow your thoughts, and then you start to center in on themes. And so that was how I started writing music, and it's how I've continued to write music. And um I really enjoy that process because I sit down, you know, I don't keep a journal. I don't a lot of musicians I know have like in their notes app, they've got titles and ideas. That's a
ideas.
wonderful way to that's a wonderful way to make music,
Mhm.
but it's not how I do it. I just so every time I sit down with my guitar, every time I kind of am surprising myself. I'm like, oh, okay,
It sounds
right.
great.
Yeah. Or like, I didn't know I was thinking that, you know,
Mhm,
and so it's like, I think, you know, to your point about psychology and sociology and thinking about the human experience, sometimes I think you're able to tap into parts of your emotionality when you're just free associating, right? Like
mhm,
if let's say I put you in a room right now and I say write down 200 just words,
mhm, mhm.
you're probably going to put down some words that are going to surprise you.
Yeah.
And and one of those words might spark another thing that surprises you, and you might actually uncover something new. So that's one of the things I really like about the more stream of consciousness way of writing is sometimes you get to really unexpected places, and I love that about making music, and I love it about just being creative in general.
Mhm, mhm. Yeah, I love it. I really love it. You have open shows for Imagine Dragons. Have you considered making music together other than Thunder, which by the way I love that version?
Thank you so much. Well, you know, I'm a huge a huge fan of theirs, and Dan especially
Mhm,
has been, you know, such a positive influence in my life, and really a mentor in a lot of ways. You know, I don't know about a collaboration in the future. I love to collaborate, so maybe we'll see. But you know, I had the opportunity to, you know, open for them on a lot of their world tour,
mhm,
on Believer, and like that was just that was such an amazing experience. I learned so much about performance, about how to connect with the crowd, um, And this is me now just talking about Dan being a great person, but Dan really, he's a very passionate performer, and
Yes, he is.
he's very passionate about what he does, and about, to our point earlier, about creating community, and watching him do that night after night. And I'm lucky enough to call him a friend. And so I'd say most of our collaboration is just that we're friends. Now we just collaborate like having dinner.
Yeah. Okay, let's see what time brings. And talking about touring, Flay, I know you're going to be touring around Europe and North America, but what about Mexico?
Oh my Lord. I don't want to, I'm going to say 99% I will be announcing shows in Mexico.
Okay.
I need to get back. Like I'm
Yeah.
just let it be known that it's really, I see my Mexican fans. I appreciate my Mexican fans, and I want to show up for my Mexican fans. And
we want to hear raw live, Flay.
oh my Lord, honestly, it's very good. Sounds very good.
Yeah.
It's some songs like live just really hit. That one feels really good.
So maybe this year?
2024. 2024.
Okay, we will be waiting for you.
But then the record will be out, then, because the record comes out in September, then everyone can learn all the words to every single song, and then I'll come.
Okay, we will prepare with the lyrics, and
yes,
and hopefully we'll have it here in 2024.
And I'll work on my Spanish, which
yes, see,
is okay. I will improve it, and then we will unite. And it will be beautiful.
Do you want to say something in Spanish for your Mexican fans?
Oh my gosh. Muchísimas gracias para escuchar. Espero que viajar a México el próximo año. Y what else? That was pretty good, right?
Absolutely awesome.
Okay, that's all I got right now.
Perfect. For now, that's enough. You can learn more words and more phrases for next year. But for now, yes, you've got a 10, an A plus.
Okay, thank you.
Flay, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure talking with you, listening to your music, and I love the way you think. And I think you're more than just a singer. You sing, but with these profound lyrics, and we appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you playing the song and taking the time.
And my best wishes for your healing.
Thank you so much.
Entrevistas Alfa.